Dreamer Harry is dreaming day and night about returning to the royal family and thinks he will always be forgiven no matter what happens. This is truly brazen and has caused a wave of strong public opinion. We will reveal the specifics in this video. Again, hello and welcome back. Recently, in an interview, Harry let everybody know that he's ready to help out his family after his father, the king, was diagnosed with cancer and started treatment. But unfortunately, so far, he hasn't really been welcomed back into the fold. And a royal expert is saying that the slimmed down monarchy and Harry's step back from being a senior royal has left him out in the cold. Royal expert and author Phil Dampier said, "It's all about who's going to be in and who's going to be out, and Harry is definitely out. But he still doesn't completely get it. He's like a naughty boy who always thinks he will ultimately be forgiven." So first things first, Harry and Meghan have shown us time and time again they're not trustworthy. So it's not shocking that the King and the Prince of Wales don't want the two of them back after all the pain they have caused the royal family. And Meghan were the ones who made the decision to quit and move to the US, so that should be that. I think they need to focus on living their own lives there and leave the royal family alone. The public is never going to be able to forget the unprovoked attacks on the royal family, including that horrible way that Meghan Markle mocked the late Queen with that disgusting curtsy in the mockumentary. And of course, nobody's got time for the traitors. Honestly, the royal family needs the two of them about as much as they need a big hole in the head. And the thing is, Harry and Meghan have got to accept that. The sooner that Harry has all his titles removed, the better. Charles, Catherine, William, they certainly don't need the stress of having Harry anywhere around. And also, they should worry about him having access to any information. I mean, who knows what purpose he's going to use it for? Folks, let's just review what Harry did. He didn't genuinely wish Princess Catherine or King Charles well. And he's claiming that because they're in ill health, maybe he's got a way back in. And for some strange reason, Meghan Markle insisted on bringing skin color into the whole mess. And now we're hearing about these people. I mean, what is Harry even talking about? Maybe Harry should mind his manners if he even has any. There is nothing genuine about him. As I see it, the biggest problem is that Harry has still not been removed from the line of succession. Now, he has been excluded from royal family discussions, and nobody wants him near the UK or the royal family. So maybe eventually he's going to get the message if he and his heirs are officially taken off of the line of succession. But it's not even going to be that big of a deal because Harry's so far down the line of succession anyway. Now, when the king passes away, he's only going to move up one slot. William's children are always going to be in front of him, and they're probably going to have kids of their own, and then Harry's going to move down even further. I think the stories about Harry coming back are just clickbait. Harry has shown himself to be a traitor to his family, to the British people and the Commonwealth. And for what? For money and to support that nasty serpent he decided to marry? I'm not sure about the rest of you, but if I never saw Harry's face again, I would be just fine with that. Harry and Meghan also lied on the Oprah show. I mean, the lies were so easy to disprove, like being married before their spectacle wedding, as Meghan called it. It makes me wonder what else they have lied about. Now, I think the media were watching and they were waiting to trap them, but Harry and Meghan gave them more than enough ammunition. There are so many other stories from normal, ordinary people that are detrimental to the belief that they were likable people, and none of this has anything to do with race. So, Harry, maybe you need it to be explained again. You are no longer a working member of the royal family. So, why on earth should you have a part in the succession planning? The royal family do not want you. They do not need you. You've caused so much heartache to the royal family and to basically everybody living in Britain. Stress can cause many miserable feelings, and it can really make health problems worse. Actions have consequences, and Harry can't understand that he is out forever. Just imagine the consequences. Never again is Harry going to have uncomplicated access to one of the royal palaces. When he wants to show his kids where he grew up, he's got to ask for permission, and he has to make an official appointment. Harry's never going to be able to participate in any royal events such as Trooping the Colour. And I don't even believe he's going to be invited to William's coronation. We'll see, but I doubt it. And I think the biggest hurdle is going to be this lack of trust. And honestly, I don't think there's any way to undo what has already been done. The royal family, for the rest of their lives, are going to second guess when Harry's going to need to trade family secrets to raise his and Meghan celebrity status. So are the British public going to be able to forgive them and welcome them back? No. I mean, I guess it's possible that at some point in the future, a long time from now, maybe the public could accept Harry back as a non working member on the outside of the family. But Meghan's presence is never going to be tolerated, absolutely not. Too manipulative, and her personality is just too divisive. She insulted Her Late Majesty the Queen and tried to taint the Queen's wonderful legacy. Meghan Markle intentionally labeled the family and the country as racist. And the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, he was in the last stages of his life, a life that he had spent dedicated to service and duty. The insults and the harm that Meghan has caused the UK and the royal family are unforgivable. And her position within the royal family is, I'm sorry to say, irredeemable. So nobody's interested in the Sussexes. Nobody has any affection for them anymore, and nobody wants anything to do with them. I think most people are going to be more than happy for them to stay far, far away from the UK. And it is a sad story for Harry. I mean, once upon a time, he was a popular royal, but now he is a pathetic footnote on their website, and he's basically like an unpleasant aftertaste in the mouth. And looking back, I think the palace did a lot of work to make Harry look like a likable person. Without their help, now we're seeing who he really is, and it's not pretty. What he has shown us is how jealous he is of his older brother, how he cannot be trusted with private information, and essentially that he's going to do anything for money, even betray his own family. And it seems like Harry also needs to lay off the drugs. His memory is about that of a goldfish. And Harry hasn't forgotten the team they once were. He forgot immediately. When he had an opportunity to sit down with Oprah and tell his fibs, he forgot how close they once were. Harry had no problems whatsoever forgetting the team they once were when he wrote that made up story in Spare. And what about all the times that he treated his own grandmother the way he did? Anybody out there really believe that when Harry came over, supposedly to visit his father after he was diagnosed with cancer, that he did it because he really cared? I think people who might believe that story are very few and far between. And the way he was received should have informed him that when he chose Meghan Markle above everybody else, in spite of all the nastiness coming from her, that meant that he was out for good. In the past, when he did things to betray his family, things that no one even considered, did Harry consider the consequences? He just quit. He left. He ran away. So he shouldn't expect to be informed of anything that the royal family is planning. But we know that Harry still expected to get all the perks of his former job, which really shows his lack of understanding and lack of maturity. I mean, and also lack of touch with reality. There's no way back for Harry when it comes to royal duties. He's not necessary, he's not required, and he is certainly not wanted. He has proven himself to be untrustworthy. He is not an honorable person. He's also not very smart. Harry still cannot understand the problems that he has caused, and so he wants to help. Not only do they not need his help, they don't want it. Queen Elizabeth told him, "You're in or you're out," and they decided they wanted out. And just think about the fact that when Edward abdicated, he was never allowed back to the UK. Now, I don't think Harry and Meghan should be allowed to come back either. They don't do anything except cause problems, and they're always wanting attention and wanting to stroke their egos for doing absolutely nothing. Harry's like that little child who always asks why when they have been told no about 1,000 times. Now, Harry had every right to move away and make a life for himself, but he had no right to inflict so much pain on the rest of the family. And who knows whether or not Meghan was really asked to leave. Some people say the Queen said that Harry and Meghan needed to leave, and some people say they left of their own account. But anyway, what came after was certainly not well thought out. So, Harry, what is next? You claim you want to come back, but your family and the country don't trust you. So, what are you going to do? In conclusion, I do believe that Harry is wanting back in. He did make it clear that he was out, though, when they left for the UK, and now he only wants back in because he realizes he's going for broke. Now, Meghan might be surprised at the idea, and rightly so, because she realizes they have no place whatsoever in Britain, but then again, she also wants the money. So, what's going to happen with this? I predict nothing because no one wants them. Just now, I shared with you all the information about Harry still not having the heart to leave power and dreaming of coming back to the royal family. How do you feel about this? Please leave a comment below to let us know. Thank you so much, and I'll be back to see you again in the next video.